Exploring social psychology. This is day number 110. 110 days since Canadian SIMBA from Kenya in Halifax, Nova Scotia, province of Canada, has not been able to leave the house. 110 days. Studying, reading, meditating, working on whatever simple things you can work on. See, a little painting here, a little writing, lots of gardening, lots of gardening. So my plants, lots of gardening, and a son of a farmer. Simple Lesbian son of a farmer. He's been here over 25 years in Halifax, Nova Scotia province of Canada. And then I was just working on full retirement, going into full retirement. And then some few people decided that they did not want me outside on the streets. They don't want SIMBA on the streets. They don't want SIMBA singing in Tim Hortons. They don't want SIMBA from Kenya, Canadian SIMBA from Kenya, retired and just taking it easy, going for a walk, running, going to the cafe, going to sit and talk to my retired friends and all that. Why? But my retired friends who have white skin color or privilege or success or whatever measure of success are able to have a good day. They're able to walk around. Nobody bullies them. Well, not that much. They're probably bullied a lot too sometimes. Because vulnerable people are bullied a lot in Canada and USA. It's how it is. It's how a colonial system works. It profits from bullying the ones that are weak and the ones that look vulnerable and the ones that are the majority. So the minority try to divide and rule the majority. And that's how the minority rule. That's how bullies seem to have a larger share of leadership in the world and in the countries and in corporations and all these other places. Because the kind-hearted people are highly effective. They're highly effective. They just want to do a simple, powerful jobs with power-packed moments in which they are dedicated and they have this commitment and they have this passion, they have this drive, they have this self-actualization going on within them because they learn powerful lessons in personal change in their lives and they put them into highly effective, efficient and excellent practice. They become highly effective people. They're the ones that are compassionate, they care, they donate here and there, the X, Y, and Z. The difference between them and the people that are manipulative or narcissistic or greedy or corrupt is that these kind-hearted people are genuine. They do it for good reasons, genuine. The people that are greedy or corrupt or whatever, or I don't know, whoever it is, it's not just one race. It could be one different races, different social status, different levels of the society. So the ones that are corrupt have something called greed. And the greed is what makes them insatiable. They cannot be satisfied, see? And they will pretend like they are reasoning or being reasonable, but it's just pretending. They'll pretend they're changing, but it's just pretending. They pretend they're Christian or like any other religion, but they're just hypocrites. See, because they may have that sense of awareness that, oh, this is important to work on. It's important to explore psychological aspect, physical aspect, financial aspect, social aspect, spiritual aspect of life, and just to figure out whatever principles of philosophy and policies and practices and procedures and whatever principles of values of life that we have in culture and heritage or in organizations and families. So those are things that are there in society, and this is what society is built upon. And we have rules that come from that. We have regulations, we have laws, we have codes of conduct in organizations and ethics and all these values, they come from basic human values. See, and it's probably just related to the laws of nature, because the laws of nature operate on is a value system. It's just a value relating to what pressure and temperature, and that's how the universe was formed. There's no magic person up there studying with a white beard or green clothes or like red for Christmas or like pink or yellow, green, black, whatever you want to look at God, and brown, and whatever imaginary devils, whatever imaginary demons, whatever imaginary heaven or hell. You can believe in that if you want. I'm not saying don't believe in it. I'm just saying that it's all about energy. It's about pressure. It's about the flow of life, and how life forms itself, and how trees operate, and how plants and people and insects and all these other things in the world operate, including the desk, including the table, including everything else. We are all something called matter, matter. And out of that matter comes a book, comes the plant, comes the human being, comes the flowers, comes the whatever it is. All these things up here. See, it's all that is just related to something called matter, matter. And then there are different compositions of it, of that matter. See, and it's the things that matter, same as the things that matter to us as human beings, is different. Each and everyone has their own preferences, and of color, of food, of conversation types, of friends, of relationships, and goals in life. Each and everyone is unique, because we are all different compositions of the same matter that's in the universe, or whatever is in human beings, or whatever is in that makes people highly effective or highly ineffective. To various degrees. It's not a perfection like, hey, this one is effective, this one is ineffective. It varies even in a person from time to time. So it's about trying to reevaluate self and trying to figure out, what is it I can do to be a good person, a better person, the best version of myself possible. It's about it. See? And then just focus on minding your own business relating to that, and be like, okay. Yeah, this is who I am. Oh, yeah, I don't know who I am. Figure out then who you were, or who we are, or who I am. Figure out that, and explore your own social psychology, or your own makeup of the mind. So what is social psychology? Let's go figure out what this about. So this talks about something called our sense of self. See that? So I'm not making it up, it's right there. Our sense of self. So it says that schema, or mental templates to which are mental templates to which we organize our worlds. Our schema, right there, schema, let's focus that. Schema, our perceptions. So schema is actually perceptions, okay? So our perception of ourselves, our athletic, our overweight, our smart, or whatever powerful effects, how we process social information. That's according to Marcus and Wolf. These self-defining beliefs influence how we perceive, remember, and evaluate other people and ourselves. If athletics is a central part of your self-concept or self-identity or experiences in life, i.e., if being an athlete is one of your self-schema, then you will tend to notice others' bodies and what else? And skills. You will quickly recall sport-related experiences, and you will welcome information that is consistent with your self-schema. This is according to Kithalom, Lustrom, and Cantor, 1984. The self-schema that makes up our self-concept operates like a mental system of cataloging and retrieving information, basically. So we are like friggin' computers. We just catalog. It's a mental system. We are just mental systems that operate concepts, self-concepts, goes into the mental system, operates and goes into the operating system, goes into the mental system. Then it's catalog, which is like assigned codes and whatever it is that and values and all these things that we identify people like names, and they come from this, they are tall, they have this type of hair, this is what they do for work. That's like our cataloging or categorizing people or things. All right. And then retrieving information. Then we retrieve it to use it for whatever purpose. Okay. So it says, consider how the self influences memory, a phenomenon known as the self-reference effect. Okay. Self-reference effect. Of information is relevant to our self-concept. We process it quickly and remember it well. All right. If it is relevant, okay. So that's what the fellow says. And this one says, the self-reference illustrates basic fact of life. Our sense of self is at the center of our world. Okay. Because we tend to see ourselves on center stage, we overestimate the extent to which others behavior is aimed at us. We often see ourselves as responsible for events in which we played only a small part. When judging someone else's performance or behavior, we often do it. We often spontaneously compare it with our own. And if, while talking to a person, we overhear our name spoken by another in the room, our auditory rudder instantly shifts. Where does it shift? Attention, says Wood and Cohen, 1995. However, this effect does not happen the same way for everyone, because everyone is unique. Eh? We are more altruistic. These are people who are more likely to help others. They're altruistic, okay? Are less likely to show the self-reference effect, presumably because they tend to think of others more than themselves. All right. So what's the concept or the idea here? This is called our sense of self. Let's put it into context here. Okay. Let's talk about something other more general. Okay. That was like a little specific and academic. Let's talk about self, culture, and gender. So this self-culture and gender is kind of a little simpler to work on and think about. See, it's about how do you sense. Let's try and focus a little better. How do you score on the self-concept activity? The scale was designed to assess your overall feeling about who you are relative to a specific target group. In this case, we discussed your Canadian identity. Each person who lives in Canada has his or her or their own personal sense of self. However, what is less clear is the extent to which our perception of self is dependent on who we are versus where we come from. Really important. Because here in Canada, just to put that in context, people are defined according to where they come from. So, I don't know, this one is black from Africa. This one is white from Europe or from China or from whatever else, who knows, whatever else. And this one is brown from the Middle East. This one is mixed race. This one is that. So they assign things according to this thing called here where we come from. That's one of the major factors or identifiers in Canada. For example, if there's an incident and then there's an investigation, then they'll say, oh, the people involved were one, a white man, two, I don't know, black lady, and three, then they say whatever, somebody else that looks brown or whatever, from whatever, see? So that reduces people to just skin color defining resources in society. That's how it is in Canada and USA. So it ends up being, because it's designed to be a racist system, so that's how it is. It doesn't mean everyone is racist. No, it just means that that's how society is designed, and then people have something called choice. They can choose to be good, they can choose to be caring, they can choose to appreciate everyone, they can choose to be the most racist idiots ever, or they can choose to be like pretend this and that, pretend to be nice and then be like as racist as they want. In racism, it means ignorance. It means like the most ignorant in all humanity. That's what racism means. Because like they just charging people by cover of the skin. The racism is a very narrow-minded version of tribalism. Tribalism is where people operate, say, people of a clan or people of a clan and relatives. That's called nepotism. So tribalism is the group concept of it. For example, like the people that are called Caucasians or white people, that was just an amorphous group that was created for purposes of politics and government and try to control, divide and control humanity, see? So, the people that split up from around the Caucasus Mountains tend to have similar skin color because they differentiated from the people that were closer to the equator. Well, we all lived in the equator at some point around the equator somewhere. Who knows? Maybe East Africa or whatever. Maybe stretching all the way to parts of the Amazon and parts of Papua New Guinea and all that area, and South India and all that area. But anyway, so besides that, so as Canadians, now we are here in Canada in this thing called Canada, which is, what is Canada? Oh, Canada. Canada means a village, actually. It just means a gathering of people. It's a village. The original spelling is Kanada, and they changed it to Canada, the C. Who knows why? Anyways, so that's how it went. And it says here, Canadian identity. But what is Canadian identity? Interesting question. There is quite a bit of research that suggests one of the main ideas of being Canadian is that we are not American. That's according to Headley, 1994, and Longley, 2002. This book, they talk about that. All right. And it's also McGregor, 2003. In 1999, a poll published in Maclean, one of the Canadian magazines, reported that Canadians consider what's the most important here, important element of the Canadian identity is to be our flag. So our flag is the most important, Then our climate, and then geography. What else? Achievements of Canadians throughout the world, our healthcare system, our role in international politics, and our multicultural heritage. So that's a really important one because it touches on the element of the previous one that we talked about here, where we come from. So that's a main factor in Canada and USA. It's called the American Empire, and it's collapsing. By the way, it's like a house of cards collapsing now. I don't know how to what extent it's going to collapse. It's going to change. Things are changing because this is how it is. Is how things are. And it's like the collapse of the British Empire, the collapse. Maybe some of them just change into some other form. They mutate and migrate and meiosis and whatever, just like a virus, just changes from one form to another, something like that anyway. Just like probably other things in life, it just like change form from this to the other. So maybe that's what it's about. But it says here, so multicultural heritage is really important, our Canadian multicultural heritage. And it says that while 71% of Americans thought Canada and the United States were mainly the same, only 49% of Canadians agreed. So 71% of Americans think everything is the same. 49% of Canada agreed with that. Okay. Anyway, that's just stuff. Okay, let's just read this about this reflection a little bit. A reflection of the Canadian identity, according to Molson. Molson's award-winning book there, and it talks about how Canadian beer, Molson Beer, Canadian company. So this, whatever is going on there anyways. At least we ended on a light note of beer. Hey, I'm not a lumberjack. Anyways, so it's about self, culture, and gender. So this is identity. Identity is one of the building blocks of society. All right, let's read something about this one. This is day number 110 that Canadian SIMBA from Kenya is in the house, has not gone out in Nova Scotia province of Canada, right here in Halifax City. It just started after I moved to this house, and I don't know what's going on really. But it probably started with 2 or 3 people here just going on the computer and trying to shut down SIMBA, Canadian SIMBA from Kenya's work website. I don't have a website, but there's a social media page on Facebook and YouTube, and then who knows what if they did it, or if they gave wrong information to the police and to thugs and to all kinds of people out there. And then so it just went from that to so the bullies in the house connected with bullies outside, and then maybe who knows, bullies in the police and bullies in the government and this and that. So, and they just like they were jealous that I was making good food for the homeless. They were jealous of singing in Tim Hortons. They were jealous that people were appreciating SIMBA because SIMBA, I don't know, is just happy and joyful. Why can't they be happy and joyful and be appreciated? I don't know, see. But anyway, it's just the world, though. Cannot control others. Just try and figure out and control yourself. So I just think about this and I read and I study and I work towards my PhD someday. Maybe I came here to be a PhD professor. So, but anyways, in the meantime, I just teach about CHAMGE philosophy and the importance of being a good human being. CHAMGE, love yourself first. Love yourself. Nobody else can love you. You don't love yourself. You gotta at least love yourself. Then you can love others and love everything and everyone else. Hopefully, faithfully, because we are one big human family in a big community in various places and whatever. Let's read about this one. This one is about the constitution. Okay, this constitution is important because this is the makeup of society and structure of society and structure of whatever it is that is there in society. Let's a little bit and then try and refocus this so it can read whatever. Let's try this. Okay, it says the constitution has endured and serves its vital function today because it is based on concept principles on the self-evident truth contained in the Declaration of Independence. These principles empower the Constitution with a timeless strength, even in the in the midst of social ambiguity and change. Our peculiar security, is that correct here? Our peculiar security, said Thomas Jefferson, is in the possession of a written constitution. That's what he said. But we don't follow the friggin' constitution. We follow it only when it's convenient to us. That's what we do. We do things only that's convenient to us. For example, let's assume, I don't know, I need, it says, don't cross the road, and I just want to cross and run. So I run when it's convenient to me, and I follow the rules when it's not when it's convenient to me. This is how it is. So the ones in power, whatever power group, it could be just a person of a group of friends or who knows, billionaires. So they use the constitution to benefit themselves and to oppress others and reserve the potential of others, maybe according to skin color, according to social status, according to how ineffective the people that are doing that are in the mind, and how they are disempowering themselves. Because like when someone is being racist to another one and greedy and corrupt, they're just disempowering themselves. It's like a family feeding one child or two children and then starving three of them and then pretending to be nice and happy and go to church or whatever, or be like good student, or be like good professional, good I don't know, chief engineer, or like a leader, or like a parent, or whoever else in society, even just a stay-at-home mom. But they don't care about 2 or 3 children. They lock them in the basement, don't feed them, they abuse them, they yell at them. I don't know, they try to like starve them to death or whatever, see, or cut off their income, and then they are like privileging 1 or 2 children. So, you're like, what kind of family is that? What kind of human society is this? But the ones who are profiting from it, they're like, oh, that's no problem. We're doing okay. Like, we're doing all right. We're nice and amazing. So, but they're the ones that carry the shoulder of the stress their children and generations carried forever and ever. Well, it affects the whole society and everybody. Same as a good, kind-hearted person does good, and it has a positive effect. Or like someone who wins, I don't know, some game or sport is doing amazing, and it just has a positive motivational effect on people. So the negative ones also have a similar effect. And but we are all human beings. We all have all these bits and pieces in us. It's up to us how to have a personal mission. A personal mission statement is based on correct principles and becomes the same kind of standard for an individual in life. So you have a good personal statement, same as the constitution of a country, and it guides the decisions and the basis of making daily decisions in the midst of circumstances of life and emotions and the effect of those on someone's life. A good personal mission also empowers individuals with same timeless strength in the midst of changes, challenges, and whatever chances there are in life. People can't live with change if there is not a changingness. Is there changingness? Changelessness or something like that. Anyway, so let's have a good personal mission. Let's be people that want to learn to in life, and also have good constitution, and also have good self-esteem, good culture, and good character, and good gender values. Those are just related to family and self, and like whatever, and also have a good sense of self. All right, that's about it for now. This is the two books I referred to. This one is called Highly Effective People by Mr. Stephen Covey. Powerful Lessons in Personal Change. You can become destined to be the leader of the decade. You can be a leader of the decade, or whatever period or lifetime, or whoever in your career, in your society, in your life, wherever you live, whichever country, whichever culture and heritage. Be a good human being, explore good psychology, your own mental health, your own happiness, your own role in society, role in your family, and role in life in general. It says here, it's important to have that so that you can evaluate yourself and others, and just your sense of being, and have a consistent with self-schema, or self-concept, or self-belief, and self-awareness. Thank you. My name is Simba from Kenya. Simba, Canadian Simba, in Halifax, Nova Scotia province of Canada. Thank you, and blessings to each one, everyone, and their family. May you be a highly effective people in your family, learning powerful lessons of personal change, and direct yourself to self-actualize and explore your own. Take care of your good mental health, take care of your physical health, take care of your spiritual health, take care of your financial health, take care of good relationships with others as best as possible. We are human beings. We are not perfect, but in our imperfection, we can have a somewhat perfect, happy, healthy, and just have a good day type of life. All right. Thank you, and all the best. Greetings from Halifax, Nova Scotia province, Canada, and all the lovely people in the community that have been supporting Simba, Canadian Simba from Kenya. He's been in the house for 110 days and counting. Who knows how long it will take? Who knows how long when it will be resolved? It's just how it is in the world these days, with someone called Donald Trump in control of whatever, trying to bully people all over. So all these other mini bullies, they come out of the woods and they be like, oh yeah, I can also be a bully. I've always hated these ones. I've always whatever. But among them too, they're very loving, kind people.